Oh, hi.
Hi, Rosabel. Have you forgot how a phone works?
I was having some trouble answering the phone.
It's okay. You're here now.
How are you?
I'm good. It's been a few weeks since the Rosabel episode of Flightless Bird. How did you find that experience?
Well, it was interesting because we haven't really spoken. It's almost like we were having a fight. What do you think about that?
I think we haven't actually spoken since that went to air, which is so strange. Actually, I think life is just look. America is coming at me fast. It's been pretty crazy over here, and so it's less of us having a fight and more me just being overwhelmed by the United States.
Okay. So the world's just crazy. That's why we haven't spoken.
Do you want to know some gossip though? Some real gossip?
Yes?
Hayden hasn't talked to me since that episode went to air.
Is that real?
And I'm wondering if he's feeling a little bit left out.
Well, no, because he had the opportunity to do it.
You're right.
He chose to be on holiday.
You're right. Peeling back the layers, that was going to be the Rosabel and Hayden episode, but he left.
Peeling back the layers even more, I was going to get him to be the one to crack that egg because I was so scared.
Oh, Rosabel.
And, he wouldn't blink an eye.
No, he wouldn't. He'd crack 10 eggs on my head, probably.
So, in many ways, this has all worked out for the best.
Now, today's episode is about Hooters, the famous American restaurant chain.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just wondering, we certainly don't have Hooters in New Zealand, and we don't really have any Hooters adjacent restaurants in New Zealand. I can't think of any examples. I'm just wondering, what jumps to mind when I say the word Hooters to you?
Well, that means boobs, doesn't it?
Although their logo also has an owl in it, so one could argue hoot, hoot.
Oh.
It's an owl, not breasts.
Why are they called Hooters?
That's actually a very good question. I feel it's like you want to honk them, don't you? That's the thing. Honk,
Do you?
honk. Hey, this isn't about me.
That's a weird impulse, isn't it? Like to look at a boob and be like, I would like to honk that.
It goes back to childhood, doesn't it? You're sort of wanting to, you get milk from them and you sort of grab them. Have you seen a small infant around a breast? They're just grabbing.
Yeah, but that's different, isn't it? I guess I see what you're trying to say. I understand. Yeah, we don't have anything like Hooters, I don't think.
Does it conjure up sort of positive vibes or sort of some misogynistic vibes, or not quite sure? Because I'm not sure, to be honest.
It's confusing, isn't it? Because the premise of it seems inherently misogynistic, but women, have a right to choose where they work, and if they want to work there, then that's fine. Have you been to one? I guess that's what the episode's about.
That is how this podcast works. me trying new things, and in this episode, it would just be two bros, David and Rob, heading off to Hooters. I'm David Farrier, a New Zealander accidentally marooned in America, and I want to figure out what makes this country tick. Now, I'm going to be honest. Rob, whoever's listening, I'm scared of this episode. Two male podcasters embarking on a quest to find out about the Hooters restaurant chain seems to be a recipe for disaster. Already, I've encountered trouble in my conversation with Rosabel, raising the idea that breasts are there to be honked on. A joke, but is it a joke rooted in male misogyny? Is this episode going to get us cancelled? To be clear, it's my understanding that breasts exist for a myriad of reasons, and if they're ever honked, it should be only done in a consensual setting. But at the same time, fears of cancellation at the top of my mind, this is a podcast about American culture, and there is little doubt in my mind that Hooters is very American. It also fits in with the original remit of this podcast, me, a naive flightless bird from New Zealand, trying to understand things that we don't have down under, and we certainly don't have Hooters. So in this episode, we hear from an array of former Hooters staff from across the ages before talking to a current so-called Hooters girl. Then I go and visit Hooters for the first time. What's changed since it first launched on October 4th, 1983? What hasn't changed? So get ready to go to a totally normal sports bar, order some wings, maybe some pickles, and have a good time. Because this is the Hooters episode.
touchdown in America. I'm a flightless bird, touchdown in America.
Rob, how are you?
Great. I'm also a little scared of this episode, as you mentioned.
Legitimately concerned. I mean, even, spoiler alert, it's already been spoiled, in this episode, you and I dine at Hooters.
Yeah.
And even during that experience of dining there, I was worried about what I was saying, where I was looking, what I was doing.
What do you know about Hooters before this experience?
Can I do some admin quickly? I just want to say I got a massage today, an oily massage, and I haven't taken the oil off since I got here. So you might not be able to, if you're watching the video or whatever, you probably can't notice, but I feel very oily.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized as we started recording that I hadn't showered. And bonus, after the massage, I was leaving the establishment and they said to me, "You're a very handsome man." And I thought, isn't that a nice thing to hear from someone that's just given you a full body rub?
Yeah.
And it was sort of an ego boost. It was really nice.
Was it a male masseuse or female masseuse?
It was a female masseuse. I'd say she was probably mid-50s-ish, sort of 60s. Amazing. Gave a great massage. Yeah. So I just wanted to give a little disclaimer. I'm feeling oily.
That feeling is terrible.
My entire body is oiled.
Over oil after a massage.
Face, back, legs, everything.
Wait, you got your face oiled?
Oiled the face. She gave my face a rub down. It was so good. Most bits of my body massage.
You paid for extra for a facial massage?
It was a normal price. Yeah, at this place.
I've never had my face massaged at a massage.
The cheeks, the forehead, just under the ears, the nape of the neck. Oh my God, I'm feeling good, Rob.
I mean, I'll do like the scalp add-on, like that.
No, that's why this place is a shit. They just do everything. There's no add-ons. It's like one price, whole body. At the end, they say, "You're a very attractive man. What more could you want?" Just very quickly, we did a Patreon episode last week discussing ICE and Minneapolis.
Not to be confused with the ICE episode we did.
No. Gets very confusing sometimes. No, talking about the bad ICE. We made that episode free so everyone could listen. So thanks for all the feedback we got to that. We wanted to put that out widely. But if you want to listen and watch that episode, patreon.com/flightlessbird. It is free sitting there for you to consume. Also got a lot of entrants for history teachers. Incredible. So I'll put it in, you've seen the inbox. I've dragged it into a folder. Too many entrants.
Well, I think what we're going to do for that is we'll do a Patreon episode where we talk to 5 or 6 history
Basically
teachers.
Interviewing for the job.
Mini lessons.
Yeah, the mini lesson. So yeah, thanks for that. I can't get back to everyone, but I've got all those sitting there and slowly we'll start to do that process. Also, heaps of people writing in about cults they were or are members of. Thank you for that.
That's crazy. I was like, maybe we'll get one lead from
same.
this.
No,
like,
it's
we
nutty.
can't have that many listeners that have a connection to a cult.
Very funny emails to be getting, like either like history teachers pitching pitching I'm in the weirdest cult you could imagine.
The fact that, we put those 2 prompts out at the same time.
Thanks everyone who's emailed in flightlessbirdchat@gmail.com. Incredible. Okay. Hooters, the establishment.
Hooters.
What was your question about Hooters for me, Rob?
What did you know of Hooters before doing this episode? What was your context of it?
I knew the logo. I feel that was ingrained into my brain. The owl.
You had never
the
been
orange,
to one?
Never been. I had maybe a decade ago, I feel like I'd walked past a Hooters when there was more of them open, but I'd never been inside one. I knew that they had female servers who were in skimpy outfits, and you would go there and they would serve you. That's all but I sort of had no concept in my mind of whether this was something that existed in that form anymore. Like, do you go to Hooters? Is everything covered up? Has it moved on? Or is it still...
It seems like an outdated establishment.
It does. It seems chaotically outdated.
In current day America.
Yes. I mean, I was kind of surprised it was still a thing at all.
Yes. Did you ever see the movie Big Daddy? Adam Sandler. So it's 99 movie.
That sounds like an Adam Sandler movie.
Cole and Dylan Sprouse. They were like little kids. He like adopts or he ends up with this kid
Okay.
that he's watching.
Mhm.
I think he takes him to Hooters.
Right. That's the big gag.
You should play a clip.
Hey, Corinne, why don't you put a tank top on for old time's sake? Come on.
What is he talking about, Mommy? Nothing.
So yeah, Big Daddy. That wasn't what I knew Hooters from, but I think that's a fairly iconic.
I hadn't seen that, but I feel like I only know Hooters from seeing it referenced in other media, like whatever shows, films has been in. That's where I know it from.
Yeah.
Had you been before? What's your history with Hooters?
I had a girlfriend that loved the wings at Hooters.
Uh-huh.
So I had gone a couple times with her.
Sounds like you're making
No,
this
I'm
sounds
serious.
like the most made up story of all time.
100% serious. I had only gone with her
Okay.
like late high school, because there was one by the Woodfield Mall.
Oh, so you
in
would have been there
Schaumburg.
quite a few times because she wants to eat wings.
I think like 2 or 3 times only, because I
Always
did not
with her.
like it and she loved it.
You didn't like it.
No,
It's just everything about this again sounds like made
I know.
up. Hated it. Hated every second.
No, but it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like so it wasn't Hooters, but I remember similar situation. I was at South by Southwest,
Mm-hmm.
and this was during like the Blackhawks. They were doing like a playoff run,
Okay.
and I needed to find somewhere that was going to play the hockey games.
Again, it sounds
I know.
every story.
I know.
Where was playing it, Rob?
Well, so
where could you go that was playing the game?
So I asked my friend that lived there.
Uh-huh.
I was like, where can I watch? Where is going to have the game? And she's like, well, I'm seeing this guy that owns this restaurant chain called Bikinis.
Okay.
He said they'll have the game on there.
Right.
So I was like,
I guess I have to go
guess I
to
have
this
to
place.
go.
Much like I used to have to go to Hooters because my girlfriend loved the wings. I now
Yes.
have to go to a place called Bikinis.
No, but so I went.
Oh, did you? Did you? Surprised.
Went by myself.
Uh-huh.
It was the most uncomfortable thing.
Oh, boy.
Like you sit down and the waitresses there are wearing bikinis. They come over to your table, take a napkin, write their name on it, and like tell you that they're going to be taking care of you.
Right.
And I just was like,
This doesn't feel good.
this feels gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I left. I did not watch my hockey game there.
That's that's the fear that I had about it going into this. It's just like awkwardness and weirdness.
Which I think we'll get into it a little bit later.
Yeah.
But there's like a double-edged sword to it, though.
Mhm.
Like, I'm all for female empowerment and like
Do what
people
you
that
gotta
are there
Yeah.
and need to make a living. Like, I'm not looking down on any of the people that work at either of those establishments.
No, I look at it more as like it's a me problem and just how
Yes.
I am in these situations.
Yeah.
It's like I was talking with Rosabel about this a very long time ago in New Zealand. I was an entertainment reporter.
Yeah.
And there was a rumor that David Hasselhoff was, this actually sounds like I'm going to tell a story just like your story. David Hasselhoff was in town and he was reported to be at a strip club. And I had to find him to interview him.
Yeah, of course.
So I didn't want to go to a strip club on my own. So I said to Rosabel, would you like to go to the strip club because David Hasselhoff is there?
Yeah.
And Rosabel was like, oh yeah, that'll be like kind of fun. Like I haven't been to a strip club in a long time. Let's go to a strip club. Got there. Weirdly, David Hasselhoff wasn't there, but there was a legitimate
crazy.
tip that he was going to be there. But I was talking with Rosabel about how it very quickly became sort of awkward for us because there are strip clubs, I think, there's different types of strip clubs and different vibes in there. This was very much one that was sort of sad and awful. And me and Rosabel just sort of were like, I don't think the Hoff's here. I think we're going to go. Like, this isn't fun. And we left. But I'm not equating. See, I'm in trouble now. Am I equating strip clubs with Hooters? I guess I'm just saying it's a place where potentially you could go there to objectify women.
Yes.
Also, females can work there and they're welcome to, and it can be empowering and wonderful. It kind of just depends on a million things, like the vibe there, how it's run, how safe people are kept, who the manager is, who the clientele is, all that shit, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like a melting pot.
That's how I feel. Where like it's hard to even talk about it.
I think we're doing well. I think I'm very confident so far. I've got some facts written down for us though.
Okay.
Figuring out where the term Hooters came from. So it originated apparently from the rounded rubber horns called Hooters on early automobiles. And obviously the Hooters were round, they looked like a breast, and also potentially the theory that I pitched to Rosabel, people honk them. And so that wasn't me talking out of my ass. That is part of the origin story. The rubber horn on a car that you would hoot with your hands.
Did you know that, or you just got lucky?
No, I'm a smart guy. It was in my mind. And apparently the term Hooters was really popularized later by comedian Steve Martin on Saturday Night Live in the 80s. And then the Hooters chain came along.
I mean, I guess the other fear of this is just it's two guys talking about misogyny.
Yes.
So with that said, we did think it was important to get
what female voices, some women in this episode.
Yes.
What are you talking about? No, as usual, the listeners of Flightless Bird came to the rescue. I feel like months ago, on the show, we requested any former Hooters employees to send us voice memos about their experience at Hooters. Mm-hmm. We got a shit ton of them. So this is like a hypercut of some of the best ones and sort of an array of experiences as well. Mm. This is Hooters from Hooters employees.
All right. We've got 2 retired Hooters girls coming to you from Mesa, Arizona. My name is Emily and
I'm Valerie. We're sisters.
Yeah, Val is my older sister. We worked at the Mesa, Arizona Hooters for several years. Val, when did you work there?
I worked there from about 2005 to 2010.
And then I came in my winter break in 2006 and worked there on my breaks from school until 2010. My main memory of the job was just that it was far less scandalous than what we anticipated, especially like if you think about how Mom handled it, like when you started working at Hooters.
Oh yeah, she was so upset.
She was so upset. And then when I started working there, I think she like kind of just gave up. And then all of a sudden the next year, like we were in Hooters outfits for our Christmas card.
Yep, that is right. My main memory there is all the really good friends I made. I still have friends to this day. I'm now in my 40s and I still have people that I talk to regularly and see regularly from that time there.
Yeah, I mean, you worked there for like 5 years.
I know.
Full time.
Fun job.
People think you're wearing this skimpy little outfit, but we had these thick tights that were as thick as yoga leggings that girls wear right now. That is how thick those tights were. So when you actually wore the uniform, it felt very covered. Yeah, it felt very covered up. The only thing you really had was cleavage and arms showing.
I was wearing way less at pool parties every weekend.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I felt like we were really empowered as women to be in charge of what people got to say and who got to go. Like there was that one time where that guy licked my arm. Remember, he licked it from my wrist and you were there. And like before I even made it to the sink to wash my arm, you and the manager had dragged him out of the restaurant and he was like banned for life.
Yeah, they did not put up with that stuff. And if you had a problem with people, they really made sure that you felt like you were in a safe environment.
I don't think that this is necessarily across the board, everyone's experience. I think it's really dependent on the management. Yeah, I guess that's so dependent on managers.
Hi, David. Hi, Rob. This is Missy calling from Nashville, Tennessee, and I am a former Hooters waitress. I remember my start date being 6606, which probably should have been my first red flag. I remember whenever I got hired, I called my mom and she asked me, how did you get a job with no boobs? And let me tell you, I had to get a water bra and a push-up bra just to make it look like I had something going on because I was very flat-chested back then. What I would give for that body back. One of the things I remember, our uniform was really strict. We couldn't wear it outside of the restaurant. We couldn't tell anybody where we worked for safety reasons. We would pile up into the bathroom and help each other get dressed and cover up all of our tattoos. Our socks had to be extra scrunchy, our shoes really white. Whenever it was time to pick our section for the shift, our managers would have to evaluate our uniform. We would do a little twirl for them. And yes, all of our managers were male, a little creepy. Whenever it was slow, we would go out in the parking lot and hula hoop with these giant hula hoops that had water in it. We would hula hoop so hard it would leave bruises on our sides because they were just so heavy. And then we would go inside and flip the bar stools upside down, rock them back and forth, and race around the restaurant. We would also sit on the large serving trays and push each other around. It was actually pretty fun.
Hey, David and Rob. My name is Nicole, and I live in Phoenix, Arizona. But 20 years ago, I used to be a Hooters girl in Knoxville, Tennessee. What I loved about working at Hooters was honestly just how fun it was. I worked a lot of different serving jobs throughout high school and college. And there was always this saying in serving jobs where, if you don't have a lot of tables and you're kind of bored, if you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean, sort of implying that, you should always be cleaning the restaurant, doing side work. But really, Hooters was not like that at all. When we were bored or didn't have a lot of tables, what we were encouraged to do was really have fun. So we would get hula hoops, go hula hoop in the parking lot to try and draw customers in. Or we do this thing where we called it riding the stools, where you turn a stool upside down and you sort of like balance it in a circle, almost like a rodeo. And we would teach customers how to do that. So if you guys end up checking out a Hooters, hopefully they'll teach you how to do that. I think one of the main misconceptions about Hooters is that Hooters girls are dumb. And in my experience, that really can't be further from the truth. For the most part, all of the women I worked with were in college, working on their degrees, trying to pay their way through college, really just working there for a year or so while they worked on that degree. I know me personally now, I have a master's degree, I lead a team, and I would say the majority of the girls that I worked with and kept in touch with are really doing the same. So could not be further from the truth that Hooters girls are dumb. Incredibly intelligent women work there.
Hi, David and Rob. My name's Susan, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. My most lasting memory, I'd say, of working there is that I actually met my husband while working there. We were both students at the University of Florida. He worked in the kitchen. I worked as a server, and we started dating, and we've now been together for almost 20 years, which is nuts. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I had this one regular customer that would come in multiple times a week, usually during the day or early evening, and he wrote a book while there. I'm pretty sure his name was Steve, and he always ordered chocolate cake, just chocolate cake, and he would sit there and write his book, which I asked him about a few times. It was some like crazy sci-fi world he was defining, and I never really followed what he was going to be writing about, but he was definitely a character.
Stay tuned for more Flightless Bird. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Support for Flightless Bird comes from Helix. In Los Angeles right now, it is wintry and cold, and I'm spending even more time in bed. And it's making me incredibly grateful for my Helix mattress, which I've had for going on almost 4 years now.
Yeah, and your back's in great shape, especially right now because of your Helix bed.
It's down to many things, and I put the Helix mattress in the mix. It is supportive, it's solid, and when I took my Helix sleep quiz, it matched me with the perfect mattress for my very silly spine.
They offer free shipping and seamless delivery. They deliver your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US, and you can rest easy with seamless returns and exchanges if you're not happy with it. They have the Happy with Helix guarantee. It offers a risk-free customer-first experience designed to ensure you're completely satisfied with your new mattress.
And Helix does make you sleep better. A study found that 82% of those involved saw an increase in their deep sleep cycle while sleeping on a Helix mattress. And as someone that's had one for about 4 years, I can attest to that. So go to helixsleep.com/bird for 27% off site-wide, which is an exclusive offer for listeners of Flightless Bird.
That's helixsleep.com/bird for 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you.
helixsleep.com/bird.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Steve, if you're listening to Flightless Bird and you finish that sci-fi book, we would love to hear from you. flightlessbirdchat@gmail.com. Yeah, just an array of experiences. Generally, people seem to love it. There was a few comments from creepy manager sort of vibes, but then in other places, amazing management who would kick out creepy customers.
Yeah, I didn't love the outfit checks.
And
twirls
in front of male managers. Not a great vibe. But generally, the voice memos that came in were way more positive experiences, like had a blast, managers kicked any idiot customers out, customers are generally good, and I have great friends from that time.
Yeah, I guess I would imagine most waitresses, regardless of where they work, have stories of creepy dudes, especially a place that is like a sports bar.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're like everyone has a story.
Yeah, in
like
hospitality that. And then any job in general.
Yes.
Right?
But then to add this other layer into it.
And speaking of, I did some intense Googling. Wasn't that intense. The Smoking Gun years ago published like the original handbook for staff, which was pretty amusing. 52-page handbook. I'll put a link to it in the show notes of this episode. And you end up signing a page. This is sort of back in the day when Hooter started. I hereby acknowledge the work environment is one in which joking and innuendo based on female sex appeal is commonplace. So that was kind of like the founding idea of the whole thing, which is like built into it.
The point I was trying to make is I don't know that we need a place to encourage more of that.
Well put. Well put.
But again, like we've been saying this whole time, if people are having good experiences there and making lifelong friends and feel safe and they're going to be objectified no matter where they go, it's not up to us to...
Completely.
Our fantasy football used to have its draft at the Hooters in Burbank. So I have been to a Hooters.
Oh, the truth comes out.
I forgot about this. That's how
commonplace it is in your life. It's like you're there every other day.
Insignificant it was that we had 1 or 2 drafts there before it closed down, and now we do Buffalo Wild Wings, which you came to,
which is where we did when the one time I did a draft with you guys.
Honestly, like it didn't feel that different.
Yeah, right. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, same sort of vibe. Okay, so Hooters did have a spin-off called Hoots, less menu items, and both male and female service. So that was the thing they did for a while in 2017. Overall sales at Hooters of America shrank from $1.2 billion in 2009 to only $678 million in 2024. So pretty much half over that time. Hooters definitely went through some issues.
I would imagine as culturally, misogyny is becoming less and less acceptable, that the locations are maybe dwindling as a result. As of 2025, there are approximately 200 to 208 Hooters locations still left in the United States.
More than I expected. I mean, the fact that here in Los Angeles, like the closest one was an hour away in Long Beach.
So at its peak, Hooters had over 430 locations globally.
Okay.
High expansions in the late 2000s with 400 locations in the US in 2009. And 2009, it made $1.2 billion in revenue, and it's been shrinking
ever since. Was surprised that Hooters were in other countries. I had no idea. New Zealand missed out. I thought it was just purely an American thing, but they expanded, and a bunch of kind of other chains like that bikini one that you went to that like took off the idea, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so those voice memos that listeners sent in were mostly people working there sort of 10 to 20 years ago. You knew someone who works there currently.
Yes, and thought we should maybe talk to her. And I thought it would be interesting to get her perspective on it because she's a current kind of spokesperson for Hooters.
She's been there for a while as well.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be interesting to see what she had to say.
So my name is Averey, and I am in South Carolina, and I work at the Hooters over there. But I also have worked at Hooters all across the country, so you picked a good person to talk to. So if you were, like you say you're from LA, depending on what Hooters you go to, I probably know 2 or 3 of those girls. Because I was working at Hooters in Mesa, Arizona for a long, long time.
You're right. So growing up in the United States, what was your relationship with Hooters growing up? Like, what did you think it was? And when did you first start working there?
Well, growing up, I always thought Hooters, I saw Big Daddy, and I always thought it was just like hot girls, beers and wings, and like boobs, to be honest with you. And I never really thought anything of it. We never really had like a Hooters close to where I lived. I think the closest one was maybe like an hour and a half away. But like we never went.
It wasn't like a family restaurant where you take the family kind of thing.
I mean, you could probably take the family there. I just didn't have a lot of money growing up, so we didn't really go out to eat a lot.
Yeah. Fair.
But I did hear, like, I had friends in school that would go there all the time, and they'd like come to school and they'd have like their Hooter shirt. I had a girlfriend, Sarah, and she was probably the first person that actually told me about it was because she went for her birthday and she was obsessed with it. She's like, dude, you got to go in. It's crazy. And I was like, what do you mean it's crazy? And so that was my first impression. But I never actually went into a Hooters for the first time until I actually applied to work there. And so that was my first introduction to Hooters was actually going in and applying. I was 19 when I started. So, and I didn't think I was going to make it.
And what's been your journey like? What was your first job there and what do you actually do there now?
I've had a really cool journey with them. So I started as a Hooters girl, right? We have Hooters Girls. And then I became a bar trainer, and then a bartender, then a bar trainer, and then a corporate trainer, and then a trainer. So I've opened up other stores. I got to be in the social media aspect. So I've been on commercials, billboards, radio. I've got to help with charity organizations from the veterans to breast cancer awareness. I've got to work with Chive, Barstool Sports. I've got to go to Indiana 500.
Oh my God! So you're deep in. You are deep in. You're up hierarchy.
I'm in it. Like I drink it. I drink the Kool-Aid. So I personally got to do a lot with the company, which I'm sure, I think that as a Hooters girl, that's where most girls want to get. They want to get to the, oh my God, I'm this girl. And so I got to do both, and I still work at my stores too.
What's a Hooters girl? Is that a waitress, or can you define?
Yeah. So technically, a Hooters girl is an entertainer. We are not waitresses.
Okay.
Hooters has a stipulation to, like, I've heard rumors in the past, like when I first started, if your nose touches the wall first and not your boobs, then you can't work at Hooters. Like your boobs have to be bigger than your nose. So I've heard that rumor. And I've heard like all of these crazy things. And like you have to like be a certain image or, be a certain shape, you would say, or like how to look a certain way. So I think with the entertainment aspect of that, they get away with Hooters, like as a whole, can say like, hey, we hired you a certain way, but you have to maintain our Hooters girl image. So yes, we're servers and we're bartenders, but we're technically filed as entertainers because we have to keep a certain image.
And there are just straight up waitresses that are not Hooters girls?
No, you have to be Hooters girl. You can't be just a waitress.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it's crazy.
You kind of cut to the root of what I'm kind of curious about talking about, because obviously Hooters has this image of Hooters. It's another word for breasts, right? So it's like Hooters, You go there, it's breasts, woman, all that kind of thing.
Chicken breasts, though.
Chicken, there's chicken there as well.
Yeah.
And you've got that get out of jail free card with the owls.
It's called Hooters because owls, you guys, owls. Yeah.
But I guess what I'm curious about, I'm sure like Hooters was one thing when it started and when people had a different view of that. And it's probably different now in today's world where things are a lot more diverse and a lot more inclusive for all different body types and all the rest of it. But is Hooters still essentially, like, what is it? Is it what the stereotype is, or is it different to that?
I think it's different. I got to see the evolution of it. And truthfully, like people, like obviously we do cater more to the male clientele. But truthfully, I feel like we've kind of gone away from that and more towards the sports bar aspect, where it's not just men coming in. Like, we have kids all the time. At my store, currently, we have a coloring wall. Kids eat free. We have a kids menu. We give them toys. Like, we are very, very kid friendly. And I feel like that's what we're trying to get back to. And, because we did get that certain je ne sais quoi of like, oh, these are just hot girls with big boobs serving wings. They're like, no, it's more of that. Like, I think they just happen to hit a market at the right time with the restaurant, as you could say, and it just boomed, like, and I think it's really funny because from, if you go to other restaurants like Twin Peaks or Ojos Locos or anything like that, like most of them don't even have kids menus.
Well, sorry, you just dropped these other restaurants. I didn't even know they existed. So there's others in this genre of establishment.
Yeah, and they all try to copy us. That's the best part.
Because Hooters was the first.
Well, she called them breast runs.
Exactly.
Did you miss that?
I did catch the breast. Rob loves puns, so he would have just been in heaven when you dropped that, to the point where I had to stop the interview to make sure I caught the pun.
Yeah.
He's like, did you hear what these restaurants?
You didn't laugh.
So it is the whole Hooters thing is it's like family free, bring the kids, bring anyone, bring grandma, whatever.
Yeah. I personally don't see like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's basically like a strip club. I don't get that vibe. I've never gotten that vibe. If anything, it's just like a normal sports bar that you go to. It's just, you just don't want to see men. You would much rather see pretty girls. Get it. Totally get it. But you're working with a bunch of girls too. It's like, men aren't going to cross the line with us because one, we're going to gang up on you. It's a house full of women essentially is where you're going in. Like, you're literally going into a house full of all women. So good luck if you're going to try anything.
Yeah, totally. And another thing, we actually had a few listeners to this show send in their experiences of working at Hooters over the years. And what one person said, which sort of stood out to me, is in a lot of hospitality work, when you're not customer facing, you're cleaning or you're doing all this other stuff. Whereas the joy of what she found with Hooters is that if you're not cleaning, just the whole time you're entertaining. If you're not waiting on people, you go out and have conversations. And she just found that whole thing to be really entertaining and fun, as opposed to a sort of a miserable hospitality job.
Oh yeah, I would say like honestly, we get treated like princesses. Like like I had a regular the other day. I had a flat tire. He took it. I was working. Took my car, fixed my flat, brought it back to work. I offered to pay him. He said, absolutely not.
Oh, that's great.
You told me any other place that you can work where they're going to literally help you fix your flat and then bring it back to you. And you don't have to do anything.
It's incredibly funny. Just use them as your slaves, essentially. So good.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. They love to feel needed. I think that's like a man thing for you guys. You guys love to feel that
couldn't comment.
That we need you, that we just love you guys so much. And if we can provide that for you guys and you guys feel like you have your macho, yes, you can help me with my flat tire. I love that.
We're so basic. We really are the most basic thing. I mean, are there cases where people get rowdy and silly and you can just like kick them out? Are there any sort of kick-outable offenses?
Oh, yeah. Definitely don't touch us. Don't put your hands on us. I think that's just like human decency and boundaries.
Yeah, I think every restaurant has that rule.
Yeah, like
just to recap.
You touch a girl inappropriately or say something. Again, we're a house full of women. We're not going to tolerate being called anything less than our name, So we've had to kick. I've only had to kick out one person, and it was just it wasn't even me. They were too grabby with another one of my girls, and I was like, you gotta go, And usually, like the management, everybody, they really do have our back. They understand. A lot of these women that work at Hooters, they're working their way through college, or they have bills to pay, and they're young, and like they don't let us like walk out of the restaurant without escorts, like because there were instances in the past. Like there were instances a couple years ago where people were trying to like kidnap us, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that. So like they really do try to take care of us as a whole, and I think that's like different than most restaurants. Most restaurants are just like, sorry.
Yeah, that's amazing, that care that they give. Another thing that I love about American chains and restaurants is the merchandise is kind of amazing. And I legitimately think Hooters merch is the best. Like, I'm a bird guy. I love owls.
Yeah, the show's so cool. Flightless Bird.
Yeah, like I just think your merch is, of all the things, like I don't know what the food is. I haven't tried the food. I just know that your merch is amazing.
I mean, I will say Selena Gomez thinks our fried pickles are the best. That's her favorite.
Oh, really?
Favorite
Endorsed by
Gomez.
Amazing.
Endorsed by Selena Gomez. I'm just telling you.
Actually, that's my other question. Like, what food are you known for? Like, what is the iconic Hooters meal? Like, when I come in, what should I order?
You should definitely try out the wing, obviously. We're known for our original style wings. So what separates us from different places. So when you get wings, you probably just think of chicken wings with the skin and sauce, sauce. There you go. Ours are breaded. So our original style are breaded. So we put a little extra love and care into it. We do have both styles. You can get like the naked wings is what we call them. And then the breaded wings are like the fried chicken. I like the breaded ones because I feel like they soak up the sauce more. And I'm like a little bit of a big back. So the more flavor and the more juiciness get in my mouth, you know? I'm a big fan of the breaded wings. That's our original style, I would say, is what we're probably the most known for. And strangely enough, our seafood. I don't know why people love our buffalo shrimp. Yeah. So if you like buffalo shrimp, try some buffalo shrimp. You'll like it.
We've already done a Bubba Gump episode, so it's time to go back in for more shrimp, I think.
It is going to be a Long Beach location, though.
It is, yeah, completely. Is there anything else for my first Hooters experience that I need to know about? Are there any like hidden little facts or tricks in any of the restaurants?
Well, unfortunately, we don't do Barstool Rodeo. And I don't even think that some of the girls know what Barstool Rodeo is. I can't tell you that, that's right. But it's when back in the day, we used to flip the stools upside down. Yeah. And we would pour a pitcher of beer or whatever you'd want, while going in a circle. And that used to be like the thing that we used to do.
So that's not done anymore, or some establishments do it?
No, they took it away.
Okay.
I bet if you could find an old schooler, like someone that knows about it, you probably could. But I bet if you told them about Barstool Rodeo, you would blow some of their mind. They go, what's Barstool Rodeo? But there's videos about that. You should go check it out.
Oh, wow. Well, and I guess that ties back to the whole you're being hired as an entertainer thing as well, right? It's like a whole other thing. Oh my God.
For sure.
Best tip you've gotten in your role back in the day?
That's what I've probably gotten. I mean, I worked at a little smaller stores. I've heard girls can make up in upwards of pretty good bucks. I would say my biggest tip is probably like 400.
Holy shit.
400?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, there's definitely more money to be made. Like, I'm telling you, like the stories that I hear, like, especially in Texas, the girls that I know in Texas, they've made like $1,000 like in one tip because that's oil money. And so they're just like, here, you need to go to school. Here's $1,000. And they're like, wow, thanks. So it's just they love to take care of us. You know, there's no shame in my game. You know, I'm not doing anything but making you feel heard and seen. You know,
are you trained to play into that when you become a Hooters girl?
I would say yes and no. I would say the majority of women that we do hire already have a pretty good personality. It's like, you know, you had mentioned earlier, like one girl said that's why she liked working here the most is the people that she gets to meet. I would have to say I agree too. Like, I think that's what wrote me in. That's why I'm here for so long is I really honestly like the people that I meet. I like the customers that come in and the regulars, like they become like your family. Like I love the girls. And for me, I am chatty. So if we have a nice conversation, it's not even work for me. You know, like I can talk to a wall. So especially if you give me something interesting to talk about, it's not even, you know, it's like no sweat off my back. It just actually makes you feel more like a human. I feel like when you're working in other service industries, people kind of treat you like a robot or second-class citizen. And I feel at Hooters, they actually want to know your story and who you are. And like you leave there, like there's many a times that I will come into work and I've been in a bad mood and I will leave being like, okay, that was a good day. Or like I made somebody's day. I think that's why I work there. Because there's a lot of people out there that you just need a little pat on the back sometimes to say like, keep going. And especially, you know, like that's why I like it. It's just you never know whose day you can change. And I know it sounds really like cheesy. But like, I know they change my days sometimes, like how they fix a flat tire. So it's the least I can do to change theirs. And then they give me money. So it's a win-win.
That story is legitimately amazing. A guy traipsing off to change a tire. I love that. What is the biggest misconception? Like when you're meeting people for the first time and they say that whole thing, what do you do? Which Americans love asking. And you're like, oh, I work at Hooters. Is there a certain reaction you get or a comment that annoys you or you think needs to be straightened out?
Totally. We're dumb. We're all dumb. We're all a bunch of dumb bimbos. And that actually is farthest from the truth. We have a lot of Hooters girls that are lawyers, doctors, like you name it, they're there. They've gone to be CEOs of companies, directors of ops. Like they've served in the military. We have one girl that was working for the CIA, and it's like, so that to me is like the silliest thing, or they think that we have everything handed to us. That's also a common thing that I found working at Hooters is a lot of these women have this commonality. Like you'll get like a handful that have like quote unquote, like a perfect American life. Right. But a lot of these girls, like they have to work, they're hardworking ladies and first, and they just happen to, this is our faith, like can't change it. This is what I was born with. So I'm going to use it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of these girls like kind of understand that. And it's like, hey, there's a market out there. How can I use what I got to get me to a point where I want to go? And I feel like that's a common misconception. They all think that we're dumb, or they all think that we're like strippers. And it's like, no, a lot of these women have really big ambition. And why wouldn't you work at a place where you're making great money? You have great friends, you have great people. It's always like a little party. Like, why not? Just common sense.
Fancy that. People judging people for people's looks.
Yeah, weird. So weird.
Finally, is there anything coming up in the world of Hooters this year that you can tell us about? Any big Hooters scoops?
Yeah. Honestly, Hooters actually just went through a really big change. We went through bankruptcy. And so our company just went through a whole, yeah. Right. Yeah, it was like big scoop. We just went through a whole rebranding. So I am just as lost as you guys. I have worked for the company for a very long time. And this is the first time that I don't even know what's coming.
Oh my God, that's stressful.
New ownership, new company. There's been some new rules. Like we've had our uniform change just slightly.
What's the uniform change? That's fascinating. What's changed?
Honestly, I think it's for the better. We have these like little coochie cutter shorts, and I hate to say it and call it like that, but they almost look like little boy shorts, like underwear. Mm-hmm. And it was just too much. It just wasn't the way. And the girls weren't happy. I wasn't like, so they changed it back. So it more looks like spandex shorts, like normal shorts, like clothes.
Cool. So the changes have all been a positive in your mind.
Less butt cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah, less butt.
Less butt. We're Hooters, not butters. What are you going to do?
Rob loves that as well.
That's a good one.
Just any kind of wordplay, Rob is like set for the week. He'll be giggling at the shit for the next month.
That's my job, is to make you laugh. I'm an entertainer.
Final question. I've just had quite a weird gum surgery and I'm not allowed to chew, and I'm due to go to Hooters tomorrow. On the Hooters menu, what are the menu items you'd order that require the least amount of chewing?
Chili. We got chili.
Okay, great. Just copious amounts of chili. It's going to feel good.
Lots of chili if you can't chew.
Okay, noted. Thank you so much for joining us. You're amazing.
Appreciate you.
Welcome. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon.
You too.
Thank you. Stay tuned for more Flightless Bird. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Support for Flightless Bird comes from Quince. Now, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time, and that is what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, and everyday staples that feel easy to wear and easy to rely on, even as the weather shifts and gets more and more wintry.
Quince has the everyday essentials that we love with quality that lasts. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets as springtime comes that keep you warm in the changing seasons. The list goes on.
And Quince also works directly with top factories and cuts out the middlemen, so you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. I was incredibly grateful for Quince recently because I traveled to Minneapolis. It was well below freezing, and if I didn't have my Quince warm gear with me, I would have been a very different experience.
You would have frozen to death.
Yeah, no, that Quince puffer that I've had sitting in my wardrobe that I don't get to wear enough in Los Angeles, that was pretty much a lifesaver when it came to being in negative 30-degree temperatures.
So refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/bird for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/bird. Free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/bird.
They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Terms apply. See store for details. Maybe less than advertised. May vary by mood. Probably. Sprite Zero Sugar? It's different. It's the lemon lime flavored refreshment you want with zero sugar. So, no fast voice? No caveats, just refreshment. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Obey your thirst. Dripping in gold? That's cool. Dripping in Velveeta's supremely creamy golden cheesiness? That's respect. Elevate your drip with Velveeta's range of outrageously delicious dips and dishes. Shells, cheese, melty blocks, and heat and eat queso that go all in on indulgence. Flex on your fam with a creamy, cheesy masterpiece and go all in on what you love with Velveeta. Respect the drip and satisfy your cravings. Bring home the drip with Velveeta.
Okay, so the big scoop. Yes, Hooters did file for bankruptcy last year. It's been going downhill, as we talked about earlier. Headline, Hooters restaurant chain files for bankruptcy, 31st of March, 2025. Hooters of America filed for bankruptcy in Texas as it tries to deal with its debts by selling all of its company-owned restaurants to a group backed by its founders. The firm currently directly owns and operates 151 restaurants, with another 154 operated by franchisees, mainly in the United States. A lot of the restaurants stayed open during this process. And then skip forward to September 30th last year. Success. Hooters bankruptcy plan approved as chain goes pure franchise. Hooters of America LLC won approval to reorganize. Hooters of America LLC won approval to reorganize in bankruptcy after settling a fight over royalty payments, allowing the restaurant chain to pivot to a pure franchise business model. It received approval from the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Northern District of Texas to exit Chapter 11 through a plan that will put the chain's restaurants solely in the hands of franchisees. So, each restaurant run by different owners. It's the way it works today.
The whole entertainer versus server aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Did not realize, did not know.
Different way of thinking about the job entirely.
Wild. And I think she alluded to it a little bit. It was how they kind of got away with objectifying the workers. Is
Yeah, you're an entertainer.
You're an entertainer. We're allowed to care about these things.
Yeah.
And I guess discriminate would be
completely. Yeah, I can't go and get a job at Hooters as a waiter. It's not going to happen.
I think I'm less concerned about you being discriminated against.
Well, I am. It's very always making it about me.
Yes. She called it kid friendly, which I also was pretty shocked.
Yeah.
About.
So was I. I wasn't thinking that would have been like they have a coloring wall there. That's not something I expected.
Yeah.
But then I guess, every kid they've seen Hooters, they've seen boobs right from day dot. So, maybe it's kids are the...
Yeah, is it us just being...
I think we're prudes.
We're prude.
We might be. That's
just
the thing.
Uncomfortable with...
Like, is that the thing? Are we... fancy this. Are we the problem? The problem.
That's kind of
we are
what
the problem.
That's kind of what I think we're dancing around this whole conversation is like, is it an us problem?
Yeah.
But I also don't think I think the main thing is that we're trying to be non-judgmental.
Yeah, you're trying not to get divorced after this trip that you took. Okay, so but speaking of this, some legitimate criticism. I pulled this up earlier. The Orange County National Organization for Women, as well as 3 other California chapters, filed a complaint against Hooters with several district attorneys in 2010. They criticized Hooters for having it both ways and operating as a legal bait and switch by simultaneously advertising itself as a family restaurant, which is what Hooters is talking about, and allowing minors, while defending itself against charges of sex discrimination by claiming that the restaurant is based on female sex appeal. The complaint called on authorities to either force Hooters to stop admitting children into the premises or stop sex discrimination in its hiring practices.
Fair.
Yeah, completely. Several studies suggest that working at Hooters and other restaurants takes a psychological toll on its employees, with higher levels of objectification being associated with lower job satisfaction and higher levels of anxiety and eating disorders. Other side of that coin, feminism, having a choice and being able to do what you want as a woman.
Well, so I did like that part. I don't think I was aware of how much of a matriarch it sounds like some of the locations are that Averey mentioned.
Totally.
And like if it's a bunch of women running this place and they're protecting one another and...
Yeah, like what is the problem with that?
That part
it sounds
of it's
great.
Cool.
I would note that on the Wikipedia page I always like looking at American restaurants and chains and looking at like the legal disputes section in Wikipedia. For Hooters, there are so many of them.
Yeah, I can
like
imagine.
so many.
Yeah.
And that did jump out at me.
So again, like an establishment that like this is the result. All of these lawsuits are happening.
Yeah, possibly some red flags in the mix.
Yes.
My favorite lawsuit, my favorite one in 2012, former employee Jerry Stratton filed a suit after catching tuberculosis from one of her managers. So I thought that was a particularly awful example of one of the lawsuits involved in Hooters. But we went to Hooters. There were no lawsuits involved in our trip. I will say that at the top. This is Rob and I's experience. This past weekend, we dedicated a Sunday.
Yeah.
To this.
Long Beach is on a traffic-y Sunday.
It is a trip out there, but it was worth it.
Was it? Let's find out.
All right, Rob, we're outside Los Angeles City's only Hooters.
Long Beach.
Long Beach is a different kind of area, isn't it? We've got Ferris wheels, we've got a lot of chains. I see a Bubba Gumps. We've got outlet malls. It's a different territory over here.
Yeah, we're right next to the aquarium, which the Long Beach Aquarium is really great. Can you tell me about these women?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely lives up to the name. It doesn't instantly you're like, oh yeah, this is what I expect Hooters to be. Two waitresses, sort of blonde, smiling. Hooters is here.
Anything else about them that you...
I noticed there's a big owl above them, which is possibly where the name comes from of the establishment.
Yeah. Well, it's very clearly a restaurant.
Rob, good God. They do have the best logo. Like, it's plausible deniability just in that logo. Okay, so this feels very sports bar-y to me. There's like sports everywhere, booths, tables.
You say boobs or booths?
Booths. Okay, booths.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Averey described it as. The sports bar.
Well, I'm looking forward to whatever the sloppiest food is that they're serving up today. They've got big sports stars plastered all over the walls. Look, there's a baseball player, a football player. You love that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
What did Natalie think of you coming here?
She did not want to come, and she would not let us bring Calvin.
Talk me through the menu here. What do we got? It's kind of what she said. We've got a lot of seafood, and we've got a lot of wings. We've got sliders. It's just all American food, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sports bar food.
And I'm just going to get the mozzarella sticks, please. Yeah, so the mozzarella sticks and the hula hoop pina colada.
Can I do 6 of the original wings? And the fried pickles.
There's no other novelty. There's a bar in the middle of the place. There's booths around the outside. And and they have a few posters of the calendar sort of models that they have of the Hooters woman. Girls, woman, I don't know. It all feels weird to talk about, doesn't it? Feels like I'm walking on eggshells whenever we speak, you know?
Yeah, there's, I guess, more groups of guys, but there's plenty of, like, couples here and families.
I didn't expect to see kids here, but yeah, kids here just having a chat. I mean, if I had a kid, would I bring them to Hooters? I don't know. I guess that's a decision you have sort of arrived to at the time. I'd mentioned I'd take them other places before I took them to Hooters, probably.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. There are other places, food-wise, that I would probably go first.
Yeah, it's a buzzy family trip to take. All right, so I'm very happy with my pina colada. It's the most bog-standard pub food you can imagine.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not going to knock a mozzarella stick. Still hurts to chew a bit, but for the pod, I'll do it.
Yes, fried pickle.
Okay, so Rob is tackling one of the breaded hot wings that was recommended to us by our wonderful interview subject, Rob. He looks reasonably happy.
Yeah, they're fine.
A man of few words. It's way more of a stereotype than I was expecting. Like, I thought it would be like pared back, but this is all on display.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at that, actually. Maybe I shouldn't be. I feel like you make so much effort when you're out getting service not to objectify people. Like if someone's serving me, I'm not going to stare at their breasts or their butts. Whereas here, all of those are on display, and it's like, is it insulting if I don't look? Am I desperately trying to keep my eyes on their eyes and their face? You know, like what? It's like all the rules are flipped. And it feels like I shouldn't be staring at anything because that's not what you do. But it's like, is that what you're meant to do here? Like it's weird how it fucks with those things.
Yeah, the social norms are flipped here where they're intentionally doing it. But again, it feels kind of gross too.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah. Not for them, but for us. And just the implications that it puts on us that we decided to dine here.
It's fascinating. It really is. Overall takeaways from Hooters, Rob? We had a great time, two bros broing down at Hooters, but you wouldn't rush back.
Correct.
Yeah. So just for us, Rob and I, sitting here listening to that back again and this entire episode, just us tongue-tied, just sort of flipping between. Yeah, it's hard to talk about.
I know.
I do want to clarify something.
Yeah,
the reason I
food.
wanted sloppy food and talked a lot about what I could chew and not chew,
because you're a big pig.
If you missed previous episodes, I had a gum graft, and so I should add I was in extraordinary pain when I went to Hooters. In my mouth, I could only have, my dentist said you can only have sloppy food.
That's why you got mozzarella sticks.
That's why I got a mozzarella stick and wanted a sloppy menu item. Just if you're wondering why I was rambling on about that. And look, the thing I want to say that I've been thinking about this a lot, and it was my main takeaway.
You've been thinking about our visit a lot?
I have. I'm going to real talk here for a second. There was way more butt and breast on display than I expected.
Yes, especially after learning that there was a uniform adjustment. It
Completely.
did not seem.
I would say at Long Beach, the uniform adjustment has gone in the other direction.
Yep.
There was very prominent breasts being shown, but my main shock factor and something that I don't see a lot of was like a lot of the lower buttock exposed, which is something that it really surprised me.
Yeah, it's not something I particularly am looking for when I'm about to eat food.
No, totally. It's like, yeah, I went there. When I go to Hooters, I go there to watch sports and have some damn good wings. And if I see some butts or some breasts, I'm angry.
I will say we were there about 20 minutes and left pretty quickly. The food was fine, not great.
It wasn't amazing.
No,
For me, it felt a very distinctly American experience where it was sports, it was bar food, and it was like what's on the tin, Hooters. Like it was as much of an American stereotype as I could have ever wished for.
Yeah.
Like it was, and that is my takeaway. Will I go back? Probably not.
No. Yeah.
But if my girlfriend loves the wings there, then of course I'll have to go. If there's a fantasy football draft there, I guess I'll have to go. It's the only place in town that's playing the big game. I guess that's where I'll end up going.
I don't know that I will go back.
I do love that we went and ate somewhere else immediately afterwards just to eat some food that was slightly better.
For context of that, we immediately decided we did not want to get full on that food.
Mm-mm.
And went next door to P.F. Chang's.
Which will probably be another episode at some point because P.F. Chang's is its own type of very specific bit of America.
Yeah. But I think end of the day, Hooters is not for me.
No. Though you have been there a suspicious number of times.
I don't
throughout your life.
I don't like how much it sounds like I've been there.
Hey, it's all right. Just two bros eating at Hooters. All right. I think we've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I think this has been a very 3D episode. We've looked at it from every angle conceivable. The good, the bad. We've talked to people that have worked there decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who works there currently. I think we can never be accused of not taking a good hard look at this particular chain. All right, feedback. As always, flightlessbirdchat@gmail.com. Sarah wrote in about our Patreon free episode about ICE and Minneapolis. Lifelong Minnesota resident and a huge fan of the show, I'm brokenhearted about what's happening and touched that you were here and witnessed the utter nonsense that's happening. I also happen to be a registered nurse and absolutely heartbroken for Alex Preddy and his family, and the lies spoken directly after his death were shocking. He was an ICU nurse for veterans. He wasn't a terrorist, for goodness sake. I've written to my local representatives and I'm appalled at the responses I got. Mostly it's like this: we are your state representatives and can do nothing about the federal government here. These leaders are, of course, Republicans, and I assume agree with Donald Trump. I'm ashamed of my federal government, but largely proud of my state for protesting peacefully and helping their neighbors. I happen to live near Northfield, Minnesota, where there is a large Hispanic community, and the stories of people being targeted simply because of skin color make me sick. Thanks for speaking out. The episode really touched me. A lot of feedback continues to come in about our Dungeons and Dragons episode. I just included this one because it's got some puns, Rob, which I know you were basically powered by puns.
Yeah.
I die a little inside. Die. You roll a die with the. Whenever someone confuses die, singular, with dice, plural, I know I stand on a dying hill. Get that? I need to learn to accept that language moves on. Literally is now an intensifier. It's is becoming the standard, as in it's with a apostrophe. Apostrophes and plurals are becoming the standard. Okay is considered rude. I just like people when they get angry about language, so I included that feedback. True life D&D anecdote to finish. When I was a teen, I was playing a session in my neighbor's house. His father came in and said, "Just don't summon any demons." I laughed. I thought it was a joke, but my friend said, "He's absolutely serious," which is preposterous from my worldview, but what really gets me about that moment is that he apparently sincerely thought we would be able to summon demons in his house with his son, and he let us keep playing. Keep up the great work. Enjoying the rest of the episode now.
I was listening back to the Peter Matthew Bauer episode. Dungeons and Dragons comes up on that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He mentions like playing it at camp.
Yeah.
Weird timing, because we recorded that like...
You had a Nest session come out last week as well. If you're unaware of this, every month we are releasing a music-based Flightless Bird episode, and they're turning out really good.
Yeah, we had Peter Matthew Bauer from the band The Walkmen.
And he talked about what it was like growing up in a meditation cult, which was wild.
And then a fun chat on...
Yeah, got into
astrology.
Yeah.
And just like not a like, I don't even know how to describe it, but...
No, I'm not a woo guy, but I was like very engaged by his
It was a very
take on
practical take on it.
Yeah, which doesn't sound like it makes sense, but listen to the episode and it will.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Finally, the Milky Bar Kid, our last episode, Steve wrote in saying, "Just wondering if David is aware the Milky Bar Kid started in the UK before it reached New Zealand and Australia." I knew that it was an animated guy, but I think the UK had like a live action guy, a kid, a real kid before New Zealand. That shocked me. Apparently New Zealand isn't the center of the universe.
That's the news.
That's the big news. And yeah, in the episode we talked about how my surname Farrier, my relatives shoot horses. Lexi wrote in saying it was very common for last names to be professions or based on where you lived in the Middle Ages. Back then, names didn't get passed down from one generation to another. Some examples are Smith, blacksmiths; Taylor, they were tailors; Baker, I think you get where we're going by now. Eventually the name stuck, and that's where almost all last names come from. My mum's last name was Fraser, which comes from French meaning strawberry. Phrase. Probably saying that incorrectly. Guess what kind of farmers they were? Strawberry farmers.
I knew that was a thing. My commentary on it was more, it would be wild if that was how last names were picked today. And you're just like pigeonholed in like, this career is what I have to go into because it's my last name.
Completely. We moved away from that, was your point at the time.
Yes.
Lexi, she looked up Rob's surname, and it comes from a place with a lot of holly trees, apparently. So your ancestors were surrounded by holly trees.
I do like the idea of every last name coming from a very specific skill set.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like Susan Hooters. It's like it's a career Hooters.
At a restaurant.
Hooters. Final bit of feedback, which led on from that last bit, which I loved. Susan Verdugo wrote in, and I say her surname because it's very important. My last name is also my family's former occupation. Verdugo translates into executioner. Apparently, that's what our ancestors did in Spain. That's pretty baller.
Yeah, it's cool to kill people.
I'm not saying it's cool. It's not cool. It's not cool to kill people.
Capital punishment.
But like executioner is so intense, you know? You're right, it's not cool to kill. I shouldn't encourage that. The Hooters episode has my brain all in mush.
Go listen to our capital punishment episode. Maybe that's the wrong
Something about executioner, like feel like executioner is like back hundreds of years, thousands of years.
Yeah.
Seems,
which I'm sure the justice system then was
much better than
now, and the executions were just.
This Hooters topic has basically got my ethics and moral compass all backwards, and now apparently I think executing people is cool. If you have feedback for this episode, as always, flightlessbirdchat@gmail.com. We are on Patreon if you want to support us, if you want to listen to ad-free episodes each week of our regular episodes and also get bonus episodes. It is patreon.com/flightlessbird. We would love to see you there. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.